Do you want to learn effective ways to build relationships, generate sales, and grow your business from successful entrepreneurs, startups, and CEOs without listening to a long interview? If so, you've come to the right place. Gresham Harkless values your time and is ready to share with you precisely the information you're in search of. This is the IAM361 podcast.
Hello. This is Gresh from the IAM361 podcast, and I have a very special guest on the show today. I have Ilene Marcus of Managing Annoying People. Ilene, it's awesome to have you on the show.
Very unannoying to be here, Gresh.
Exactly. It's great to have you on the show. I appreciate you being on. And what I want to do is just read a little bit more about Ilene so you can hear about all the awesome things that she's doing. And born to share words of wisdom, Ilene Marcus is a natural motivator. Using humor to tap into truths in workplace dynamics, Ilene's signature speeches will make you laugh, make you cringe, and ultimately make you change. See your actions as others do. It's powerful. Ilene, are you ready to speak to the IAM361 community?
I was born ready, Gresh, so let's go.
Let's do it. So to kick everything off, I wanted to hear a little bit more about your background and your CEO story. What led you to start your business?
Well, basically, I was annoying most of the CEOs I was working for, so I decided I needed to be my own CEO. And the truth is, I have a really varied experience in budgeting and managing and operations and policy, and I couldn't find the exact position where I wanted to do just what I wanted to do. But I always did find annoying people and people that needed to get out of their own way who were stuck. So I basically built a business around it, and it's been a lot of fun.
Nice. Definitely. Yeah. I appreciate you making the transition. I'm sure, the CEOs as well, too, appreciate that as much. And now I wanted to hear a little bit more about, managing annoying people. Can you tell us a little bit more on what you're doing, how you're serving the clients you're working with?
So basically, we try to hook into clients. Most who I say have this mantra going on in their head. They manage up, they manage down, and they're annoyed all the way around. So we're not talking about incompetent people. We're talking about people who have a board of directors, people who have people below them, a C-suite team or a management team. They're managing up, they're managing down, and together they're just not managing through their day. There's a lot of conflict. There's a lot of stops and starts. There's a lot of getting in their own way. When you think things should go smoothly or they don't. So I come in and I kind of give you an annoying assessment of where you are, how come your mission, vision, and actions aren't aligning, and teach you how to, use those kind of points of conflict or stuckness, to get past what you need to get on to productivity, results, and more profits.
Nice. Absolutely. And I'm sure that definitely everything, especially in business, comes back to that bottom line. So do you find that, and definitely correct me if I'm wrong, that when you are so close to it and so close to some of the conflicts maybe, or you can't see any way to get around like those stop gaps or things that happen, do you find like you sometimes need that different perspective of people like you that are able to come in and show not only what those stop gaps are, but also how to get around them?
Yeah, I have a trick. I know you're going to ask me about my unique value proposition, but I'll start it here and talk about it later, which is you got to find humor. You have to find a way for people to see what they're doing. So, I have CEOs that say to me, I don't understand. All I want is a team atmosphere. And I go into my team meetings and everyone, just clams up and I can't get them talking. So what do? I go watch him in a team meeting. And he walks in late, huffy puffy, throws his stuff down on the desk, and is on his phone the whole time. How is his team going to talk when he's operating like that? So I have to reenact it for him, and he can laugh at himself and then realize what he's doing. As I said, make you laugh, make you cringe, and ultimately make you change. You've got to see yourself really honestly to be able to get unstuck. And I try to do that with humor and grace and make you have fun with yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. I especially think that in those kind of tense moments, and I guess that's your secret sauce that you were talking about. I feel like sometimes when there is that conflict or there's that tension, you need something out of the norm to be able to kind of lighten everybody's mood. And I feel like humor, it sounds like, is a great way to do that.
Absolutely. I think it's a number one tool in the workplace because we know from all the data and statistics that happy workers are more productive. Instead of a raise, instead of a bigger office, they do like more time off, but people number one rate being happy at work is the best thing that's going to make them productive.
Absolutely. So to be able to do that and incorporate that is definitely, great that you're able to do that for these organizations. And now I wanted to switch gears a little bit and ask you for what I call a CEO hack. And this might be an app, a book, or a habit that you have, but it's something that makes you more effective and efficient.
Well, I like to say, smile like you have a secret. It's a really good way to start a meeting. It's a really good way to answer a question. It's a really good way to greet someone in the hallway. It's a really great way to diffuse a tough situation. Smile like you know more than you're saying. It really changes the tension or the feeling in the room and gets people on a different page.
Absolutely, absolutely, and I think, is this right, or have you heard the same thing? Where I think is it? I forgot the phrase or the word. I think it's physiology, where by smiling or even physically changing the way that you look or changing, like when you're making phone calls. I think if you strike the power pose while you're making a phone call, even though the person can't see you, it emits like a certain kind of, I guess, interaction or just says something to the person. So you seem a lot better. So smiling sounds like it has that exact same kind of effect.
Exactly. We know that it takes less muscles to smile than it does to frown, but we also know that frowning and getting upset has a whole physiological reaction that starts, in the amygdala, and I can never say that word, that's annoying, the amygdala, and then, it goes to, your blood pressure goes up and everything starts getting involved in your lymph node system, and you start sweating and you start acting crazy. So yes, smiling is the body's natural way of getting back to normal and like a baseline peacefulness. So it really does change your temperature, your physiologically stuff, and the whole temperature of the room and the people around you.
Nice. That makes perfect sense. So that's definitely a great CEO hack. And I appreciate you for pronouncing that, because I was going to jump in and try to save you, but I knew I couldn't. So I just sideline.
You got to laugh at yourself. Like I told you, just flub on through.
Yeah, I definitely mastered that part. So I appreciate you for sharing that hack with us. And now I wanted to ask you for what I call a CEO nugget. And this is a word of wisdom or a piece of advice. Or if you can hop into a time machine, what would you tell your younger business self?
Say what you mean what you say, but don't say it meanly. You need to be very clear with people and very straightforward without being nasty and angry, even when you're mad. So don't dance around it. Say what you mean. Make sure you back it up. It's what you really meant to say, but just don't be mean about it. I think that goes a long way.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like a lot of times that we forget certain aspects of that, but it kind of goes back to that golden rule where, if you have something that you want to say to somebody, do those and follow those exact same things, because you would want somebody to do the same to you.
Correct.
Nice. And now I wanted to ask you my absolute favorite question, which is the definition of what it means to be a CEO. And we're hoping to have different quote unquote CEOs on this show. So Ilene, what does being a CEO mean to you?
It means setting the example. Shine the light on who you want to be, on who you want your business to be, and show others how to get there. I have a favorite Henry Kissinger quote that says, "The task of the leader is to get his people from where they are to where they have never been." And I think the leader's supposed to show you how. And that's not by the tactics and goals. It's how you approach situations, how you enter the room, how you inspire them, how you smile, how you show up. So I think it's all about setting the example.
Absolutely. And a lot of times that begins and ends with us, and, not ends, I should say, begins with us. And then it kind of manifests itself in our team and in everything that we're doing and we're hoping to kind of accomplish. So I appreciate that definition. And Ilene, I appreciate your time even more. And what I want to do is pass you the mic, so to speak, just to see if there's anything additional you can let our readers and listeners know. And then, of course, how best people can get a hold of you.
Well, I want you to know, before saying a fancy word on a podcast or radio, practice it. Sometimes that doesn't even work, so you got to laugh at yourself. But please, you can contact me. You can find me by Googling Managing Annoying People. My website, my phone number, it'll all be in there. There are many interviews. You can find my book on Amazon, Managing Annoying People, 7 Proven Tactics to Maximize Team Performance. And that's it. Look forward to hearing from you and not being annoyed anymore.
Absolutely. Well, we definitely appreciate you and appreciate your time, and we'll make sure to have all that information, those links in the show notes as well. But again, Ilene, I appreciate you, and I hope you have a phenomenal rest of the day.
You too, Gresh. Thanks so much. Goodbye, CEO Nation. I am CEO.
And I'll cut it off here.
Okay.
Thank you for listening to the I Am CEO podcast powered by Blue 16 Media. Tune in next time and visit us at IAM361.co. I Am CEO is not just a phrase, it's a community. Be sure to follow us on social media and subscribe to our podcast on iTunes, Google Play, and everywhere you listen to podcasts. Subscribe and leave us a 5-star rating. Grab CEO gear at www.ceogear.co. This has been the I Am CEO podcast with Gresham Harkless. Thank you for listening.